deception, lies, false prophets, all of that and more coming up right now on the Chief Messenger Show. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Michael with Chief Messenger. Today we're going to be diving into a lot of the things that we are seeing currently. Here, if we read in Matthew 10:26-28, "Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall be not known. What I tell you in darkness, that ye speak in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." I really feel like what I want to tell you guys is that me making these videos and other people making these videos that are really trying to get to this, I'm not doing this for money. I don't care if they shut this all down. I just want to get some truth across to the people that are watching, that we are all being deceived. We are being lied to, deceived on a major scale. Nothing is new, okay? This is a very old thing, guys. This is ancient, essentially magic, okay? What we are witnessing on a grand scale is deception and magic on a large scale. Don't care what you think. I'm going to try to tell you the truth. We read some more biblical prophecy. Matthew 24:24, "For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect." What does that mean, even the elect? Is that there's going to be people out there that are Christians that are going to be deceived by the world's tricks. We have to be aware that what we are seeing take place on what they call the world stage, a lot of it is show, a lot of it is theater. And we're going to get into a lot of the theories. One more Bible verse, 1 John 4:1. "Dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world." A lot of people have claimed that they predicted the Charlie Kirk event. You know, I have an interesting story myself. I actually, the night before, was talking to a loved one and expressed to them that I had this feeling that God put on my heart, is that you never know when somebody is going to be gone. Can you believe it? I predicted the Charlie Kirk event, guys, right here. Chief Messenger channel, the Chief Messenger telling you. I predicted Charlie Kirk. I didn't predict Charlie Kirk. These things can happen in the spirit where somebody tells you that, or somebody tells you a few things and it's in people's subconscious, it's kind of planted, and it comes through in your spirit that you feel like something might happen. And of course, we have no physical evidence of this because this is invisible stuff. We're not speaking of physical things. But yes, the night before the Charlie Kirk event, I've never talked about this sort of stuff either. Like, people could be, you never know when somebody might be gone or that sort of thing. I never really talk about that, talking about people dying and that sort of stuff. But I just felt like it was on my heart that appreciate the people around you before they're gone. And then, of course, that happened the next day. I was very emotional when the Charlie Kirk event happened. And it got to me because I watched a few Charlie Kirk videos, okay, myself. I mean, I'm sure anybody who's a Gen Zer out there knew of Charlie Kirk, watched his videos. And if you sympathize with him and what he argued for, I'd say in general, you're probably not a bad person. Like, you in general believe in common sense knowledge, common sense discourse, giving the mic to the opponent and letting them speak, free speech, etc. So seeing somebody that overall was a pretty good guy, it really hits you on an emotional scale. Now, what if I were to tell you that people can benefit from a Charlie Kirk event, right? An ancient form of control is called Hegelian dialectic. Okay, I don't have this pulled up, but we can just kind of pull this up for you so you can see. It's an ancient Greek and Roman way of control here. Now, essentially, if you can create both sides of an argument from the top down, you can also therefore create what the synthesis of that would be. So, if I could pull this up, I would hope that it works correctly. Hegelian dialectic model. Thesis, proposition, antithesis, counterpropositions. And it synthesizes a new idea. If you have a certain agenda, maybe you want a certain synthesis, but you want people to feel like they arrived to that conclusion on their own. Well, perhaps you can come up with the thesis and the antithesis so that they arrive at the synthesis that you originally wanted. Now, that is literally what Albert Pike talked about when he said, when the people want a hero, we will provide it for them. Did you know Albert Pike, a 33rd degree Freemason, said that? He said, if the people want a hero, we will provide it for them. So there's just a lot of thinking here when we really start to research who Charlie Kirk was. His interesting connections, his wife, Erica Kirk, where did she come from? Right? She came, her family was involved heavily with the defense, Department of Defense. Charlie Kirk's father helped Donald Trump build some of his buildings. Right? A little bit interesting, right? Erica Kirk already had over $100 million before she even met Charlie Kirk. Okay? Very interesting things. These are not like grassroots type of people. I'm not proposing anything in particular, but we're going to watch one of my videos right now that I released yesterday, and this should hopefully give us a little bit of context of the next type of thing I'm going to talk about. So, technical difficulties, guys.
Quick but important one tonight. First, how far can coincidence go? I had to get this out because something popped up that is straight up insane. There's a 1998 movie, Snake Eyes, starring Nicolas Cage. A politician in the movie named Charles Kirkland is shot during a boxing event.
Who are you? Where? My lucky number. What?
This is Charles Kirkland getting shot in the neck in the movie. Charles Kirkland. There it is. Look, a neck shot. Get this. On September 10th in the movie, he gets a single neck shot.
It's actually coming out now that it possibly wasn't September 10th in the movie, but if you guys look right here on the screen, it really does look like it says September 10th. What's interesting is that if you look up merch for this movie Snake Eyes, it actually says September 10th on the merch. And if you ask ChatGPT or Grok, what day did the Charles Kirkland shooting happen in the movie Snake Eyes, it will say September 10th. Another very interesting thing, we can go look up right here, Charlie Kirk Jezebel. So apparently Erica Kirk was rattled when Jezebel put Etsy curse on Charlie. Well, believe it or not, if we look up the Snake Eyes movie with Nicolas Cage, the name of the tropical storm, it says right here there was a tropical storm during the movie. The name of the tropical storm was Storm Jezebel. So there's some sort of connection with a Jezebel curse being put on Charlie Kirk right before he died. And I remember seeing this on TikTok. Let's continue the rest of my expose video.
All right, fast forward, Charlie Kirk was shot on September 10th in the neck. This is mind-blowing because the names, the method, the date, it's weirdly, we're talking sinisterly similar from 27 years ago. So, where did Charles Kirkland get assassinated in the movie? It was at a boxing event for Tyler the Executioner. And of course, that parallels connections to the name Tyler Robinson, the real-life executioner of Charlie Kirk. The plot also has that Charles, the character, is uncovering government conspiracy with Israel, and, Tyler, this guy, the executioner in the movie, took a hit to get Charles killed, and he was just the fall guy. It's like you can't even make this stuff up. It is just beyond mind-blowing. This is beyond a conspiracy.
It really is, man. That is absolutely insane. In the movie, the fall guy, to let the shot ring out, was Lincoln Tyler, the executioner. Of course, the name Lincoln kind of gives you ideas of Lincoln was also assassinated. Now, what I want to put out into the idea sphere with you guys is that, was this manifested? Was this some sort of dark manifestation? Because I believe in spiritual things, right? Let's come with real ideas to the table. How is it possible that 27 years ago and 33 days, if you didn't know, the date of the movie coming out to the date that Charlie Kirk died, we can fact check that, I believe is 33 days, right? So Snake Eyes release date, Snake Eyes release, and then okay, we're wrong about that, but that's fine. Maybe to his... Regardless, Charlie Kirk died 33 days before his birthday, right? And then, of course, they found Tyler Robinson 33 hours once they started the investigation. Very interesting stuff. Okay, if you don't know about 33, supposedly Jesus Christ died at the age of 33. 33 is the highest degree that you can go in the secret society Freemasonry. So there is a few different special numbers tied to this event, but how is it possible that 27 years ago, we'll just say 27 years, they created a movie where, let's just say the plot, for giggles. A man attends a boxing match where a politician who is exposing some sort of conspiracy arms deal with Israel is shot in the neck and assassinated at an event for Tyler the Executioner. Okay? That in and of itself, you'd say, wait, is that what just happened like 2 weeks ago? No, this is 27 years ago in a Nicolas Cage movie, right? So very bizarre things, guys. I mean, and that's why I said putting out into the ideasphere. Does anybody out there believe that this can be dark manifestation? Does anybody believe that these plots and these scripts are being manifested in bad ways? Well, it's very possible. But there's just so many weird things with this event. Tyler Robinson, it doesn't feel like, and of course, in the movie, Tyler the Executioner was just the fall guy. He wasn't the actual guy who did it. The actual guy who did it has the same initials, TR, but in order to get a little snapshot of that bullet on camera, just here you go, guys. I've worked with cameras a long time. Your shutter speed is much higher than any phone camera would need to be. So if you have a phone, for example, and you want to film a speeding bullet, the bullet needs to get stopped in time because you have to, otherwise what I'm trying to say is the bullet would go so fast it would create a streak, right? So it would just be a big long streak. So we've got this guy in the corner with a little dot flying past him. We have this guy in the back. He has a water bottle, but then it has a dot flying past him. There's definitely some sort of collusion, some sort of major conspiracy going on here, guys. We are being lied to, but for deceptive purposes, for a deceptive reason, for some greater large purpose. That's not really what I'm here to tell you. We have to stay close to our brothers and sisters in these times and assure them with the truth. It's getting hectic. It's getting very hectic. And this is going to lead to bad things. I actually just made a video where Pam Bondi, let's just watch it.
And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
Unbelievable.
So, picture that. After Charlie Kirk, somebody who stands up for free speech, we have the director of the FBI. I don't even know who Pam Bondi is. Is she the director of the FBI? She's saying, we're going to go after you if you have some sort of hate speech against Charlie Kirk, right? Or against anybody on the right. There is no restriction on the First Amendment. I don't know if they know this. There is no restriction on the First Amendment. It is one of our rights. Okay? It's actually a right. You cannot break it. It's the same way with the Second Amendment. There actually is no such thing as you having to abide by some sort of law. Legally, it's the Second Amendment, right? Legally, it's the First Amendment. You have state law. Of course, it doesn't trump the federal law. So the federal law is you have the right of freedom of speech. You have the right of freedom of religion. There's no such thing as hate speech. If they want to come after you for that, they are going against your rights, and we can't stand for that. So with this whole Charlie Kirk thing, we talked about Hegelian dialectic. I'm putting out in the sphere that this is in some sort of way shaping, molding people's minds to be ready to, I'm ready. I want you to crack down on my freedom of speech. I want you to take away my enemy's speech. But then when it's not on your side, you're not going to be very happy. So right now, a lot of people that are generally nice people that are conservative are generally good people, but they are going to want the left's speech to be cracked down upon. They want the left's speech who are speaking out against people or speaking out against Charlie Kirk saying, I'm so glad he's dead. They want their speech and their rights taken away. They are perfectly allowed and legally allowed to do that. I'm not saying you should agree with it, but they are legally allowed to do that. Now we have Pam Bondi saying, we are going to come after you for what you say. So watch what you say. Definitely interesting. Is there a hidden agenda here? Very, very well does feel like it. What do you guys think about all this? Lots of crazy, weird things. Of course, we can go more into the Snake Eyes movie if we can just show you a few more things with it. I was actually on the live stream when this was being cracked, right? By Cody and Joseph. So you guys can go check out Decoding with Cody on YouTube and Joseph Aquaviva. Shout out to both of them. But the movie has a fall guy with being Tyler, so knocked out Tyler awoke instantly at the sound of the shot, and after studying the fight tape realizes the knockout punch didn't connect. So in the movie Snake Eyes, Tyler the Executioner, modeling real life Tyler Robinson who killed Charlie Kirk, is just the fall guy. He was set up in order to create a distraction so the real assassinator could kill Charles Kirkland. Absolutely insane. The reason why they assassinated Kirkland in the movie is because the Pentagon's large-scale defense cooperation with and weapons systems transfer to Israel. I'm sure that we all saw like Charlie Kirk talking about Israel. This is getting completely banned, and I'll come back in with some thoughts after we watch this viral video. Absolutely crazy viral video.
The world about October 7th. How did these guys not know this was taking place?
So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this story, I still had the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that's an IDF soldier. Of hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. Now, I don't like generalizations. Not every Jewish person believes that. But it is true, the Anti-Defamation League was part and parcel with Black Lives Matter. It is true that some of the largest financiers of left-wing, anti-white causes have been Jewish Americans. They went all in on woke, and it wasn't just ADL. It was some of the top Jewish organizations in the country that have done that. In fact, we have seen this with the recent retreat of Jewish donations that are no longer going to be administered to colleges, right? Mark Rowan, Leon Koppelman. Can we get that full list? It's very powerful. The part of the, so that's totally true. And by the way, Tucker Carlson reinforces this. So I'm going to it was quite a day on the internet. Tucker Carlson was interviewing Candace Owens. We have Candace Owens coming up next hour. And Tucker Carlson mentions that Jewish Americans have primarily been financing cultural Marxist ideas. We said this, by the way, last week, and people came after us. We actually said it in a different way. We said, I'm glad that Jewish Americans are reconsidering their financing of cultural Marxism.
Anyway, y'all, that's the Chief Messenger show for today. If you saw at the very end, Charlie Kirk did start to talk out against, well, his financiers, which would be Israel. And that's just the facts. He's speaking to the liberal Marxism that is being funded primarily by Jewish donors. And he is just simply speaking this. And afterwards, he does get assassinated. We are not connecting the two. We are just speaking to some of the facts in order. If I were to put out again into the idea sphere with you guys, what I believe can be possible. Number one, the story we're being told. It is possible, but I don't trust it. Honestly, this is on the lower tier of things that I would trust. That a man named Tyler Robinson went to the event, stuffed a Mauser 30-06 into his pants, went up to the top of this place without being spotted by security, waited over 2 hours, and then shot Charlie Kirk. Number two, inside job, and he actually is dead. Okay? That is probably somewhat up there that, with the technology that they have, they definitely can pull off very convincing, we're talking pyrotechnics, basically. I mean, we're talking the gunshot sound, and then the people around him are like, acting like it's completely real. Guess what? There's another theory that he was the fall guy, and et cetera, et cetera. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you watching today. Comment below your thoughts. Stay looking up. Okay, God bless you all. Jesus is coming soon. We have to stay firm in the faith. And a lot of people aren't going to want me to talk about this. They're going to say, why are you saying anything? Just shut up. You're putting bad things out into our thoughts. You're putting bad things out there. I'm giving you something to chew on, okay? People are not talking about this truth. People are not giving you options. If you go watch other things, they're going to give you one option and they're not going to show you other things. They're not going to give you the Bible. They're not going to talk about God at the end of the day. I'm here to at least help you to understand that there's other ways to look at it. You don't need to go and stick to one sort of side of the story, okay? Because truth is a circle. It's not a line. The truth is not black or white. It can be a big gray area, and eventually as we, get some things out of that spot, we can figure out what color it is. It's a wide spectrum. It can be any sort of color. It's not just black or white. So, insane. How did they predict it 27 years ago? Give me a thought on that. Do you think that the shooter is right there next to him and she's firing something out of his watch? He's shooting a little bullet, and then they took him through the trap door underneath. You think that happened? Let me know. I'm open to it. Thank you for watching. Peace out, guys.